Welcome to the Moldy Gourd Cassette Radio, the only cassette radio where no two are the same. If you would like a copy, I can send you one for free. If I ever do a live show with these, then it'll cost $5. If you want one, hit me up. Welcome back to the Moldy Gourd Underground Radio, the only independent cassette radio where no two cassettes are the same. You don't believe me? Well, imagine listening to a proper independent radio on air for 2 days in a row. There might be a few similarities, very minute similarities, but for the most part, it's all a train with different pieces of graffiti on each car. You may have multiple cars in a row that are from the same freight line, same company, but a lot of them will either will have different pieces of art on them or have nothing on them. Just like some of the cassettes I use may be Memorex, but none of them are completely the same. Matter of fact, most of the time they will be completely different. Now, on here, we talk about projects that I'm working on, updates. I talk about projects that people I know are working on, updates on that. We talk about political and social affairs, most of them issues, some of them attempts at progress. We play a lot of independent music on here, and sometimes some not so independent music. But we are not a government licensed radio program. In part, this is hobby. In part, I put this out for entertainment value and possibly for you to learn something. Sometimes on here, I'll share ideas and things with you that I may have started piecing together. Maybe I'm not educated in, but I'm trying to figure it out, and this is my way of communicating how I'm seeing it at the time. That being said, I'm going to start talking about how I think Oprah Winfrey was working alongside Jeff Epstein in a trafficking scandal. Now, obviously, we all know about what happened with the school she had set up in Africa. Well, around the same time that the fires were going on in Maui, there were tons upon tons of children that were going missing. Shortly after, near the tail end of when it seemed like the media was starting to hype it down a little bit, and anybody with any sort of social media presence or applications or on their phone or an account, and you get on more than once a week, knows that around the time this was going on, this happened like 2-3 months ago, that she put out a fundraising commercial. One of the richest women on earth, if not the richest woman on earth, put out a fundraising commercial with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. For people to make donations in regards to her theoretically trying to help Maui out, but also towards her buying pieces of land out there to help preserve it. Now, she's been doing this for, if I read correctly, it's been probably a month or so since I read this, but if I remember this correctly, she's been buying land out there since the 90s, plots of land. And I've seen videos going around connecting a bunch of underground tunnels systems being involved in or around Maui. And I'm going to get more into details about some of these things later on in the tape. My personal belief is that she is helping traffic people, traffic children, in the same regard that Jeff Epstein was, and that she's selling them to political leaders and people in power. But we'll go on more with this in a little bit.